the cry for compromises. Republican Senator Susan Collins told the New York Times, "I don't think it's a coincidence that women were not heavily involved in trying to end this statement. Although we span the ideologically spectrum, we are used to working together in a collaborative way." Mr. Chairman, research published in the journal Politics Group and Women Identities support the notion that more women in office will lead to less fighting, more long fast, and less gridlock. These research suggests that while both men and women are influenced by partisan group dynamics, men are affected more strongly to the detriment of deliberative democracy, rather steady others. Mr. Chairman, the participation of women in the affairs of the government should be encouraged because in the advance of countries. Mr. Chairman, in addition, little girls and boys need to see it. Following New York's recent primary, a male friend of mine posted on Facebook, "Voting is a personal decision, so do whatever feels right to you. But I didn't have much of a choice after my 6-year-old daughter told me I think it will rely good to see what it's like to have a girl president." The magic of girl having it, Mr. Chairman, don't you think when people are allowed to have the presidency, don't you think it will help the nation building? Mr. Chairman, as writer Soraya Chamley recently pointed out in the essay for the establishment, it's also important for guys to see a woman in the highest office. It's actually more important for boys to have female role models than for girls. To write Chamley, too many boys are many too comfortable assuming the priority on the basis of their sex, and they will grow up to be men who have power to change legal, corporate, religious, and governmental norms. Mr. Chairman, a lot of people ask, why shouldn't they vote for Helen Clinton, who is a female president in Nigeria? Mr. Chairman, I also add up that a lot goes into becoming a female politician. Sally Ofuam Oku, President I, COE, Soft and Orange. My opinion on this subject is that at no time have Nigeria presidency, Nigerian women have been taking part in politics, even that men and women that are bold enough to go into the politicians, to build with goals with being a female politician. We consequently have situations where no right thinking man would allow his wife engage in active politics for fear of being regarded a wedding, who cannot control his wife. Mr. Chairman, in the First Republic before the advent of military, women who engaged in politics during as activities were usually unmarried, divorced, or widowed. They were viewed by the society as radicals. Mr. Chairman, I believe a woman can be found oppressed in Nigeria in the future, provided she gets her political artists right. But first, she would need a period, even years, before getting into politics. Women see politics as a dirty game, which shouldn't be so. Mr. Chairman, a Nigerian woman aspiring to a higher space in the land has to understand that politics is not a dirty game.
Let's go for it.
Madam Speaker, for the motion. Thank you very much. In fact, I heard you rather much, but I wish you could single out the point for me. So I plead that whether you get opportunity or others get opportunity, they should spell out the points you are talking about. That will help me make a good judgment, so that at the end of the day I will not be a partial judge. And this advice equally goes to the against the motion, people speaking or speakers against the motion. Now I want to also take this opportunity to welcome one of our officials we have been waiting for. Also an impartial judge, Honorable Pastor Ebenezer Dono, please to join us on the podium. Please get him a chair so that we are sorry our podium is not very big. Yes, we can still manage. Two are better than one, so that we can make a very good judgment. So, over to you against the motion. Thank you.
The main speaker or against the motion. Female president is more desirable in nation building. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, honorable timekeeper, invited guests, pastors, workers, debaters, co-debaters, workers, co-debaters, debaters, and workers. I greet you all. Mr. Chairman, when we talk of nation building is the conscious effort made by a community or a country to create an atmosphere of harmonious living. Mr. Chairman, when we talk of female president, a female president is a person appointed by law to lead his or her community towards the attainment of a set goal. Mr. Chairman, I know my opponents will blindly say that engaging female in nation building will play greater role, but I can tell you boldly that they are just throwing dust into our eyes. In my local dialect, there is a proverb which goes like this: "Nyumugugomi lake tuma," which shows that when you are in a house and an issue arises, it is the man they approach first before approaching the woman. If you can all bear witness with me. Mr. Chairman, I can boldly tell you again that females, they are incompetent. When we talk of incompetence, it means they lack skills, knowledge on how to govern or lead a nation or a community. Mr. Chairman, women are competitive. They are competitive with others, which refer to as queen being syndrome, which means they like to compare themselves with other females. For instance, when you go to parliament or ladies with high positions, someone will be there and will be like, okay, because of my position, I don't want any other woman to be in that position so that I can boast of it. If you can all bear witness with me. To add to the above mentioned point, during decision making, a male leader makes unpopular decision or choose out an employee. He's doing his job. But when a female leader does that, she may be perceived as callous, which is emotionally hardened, uncaring. Hillary Clinton, for example, was labeled nasty for aggressively debating with Donald Trump over this issue, as ladies comparing themselves with each other. In my side of studies, the common term used to describe female leaders is emotional, moody, casting, gossipy, and bitchy, which none of these words is used to describe a man. Mr. Chairman, this differential treatment of male leaders makes men to get better rating than female, if you can all bear witness with me. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Well, I don't want to conclude yet, but I wish you could be able to, well, let me reserve my comment so that it will not serve as a big ground or a weak point and a strong point for the opponents. So I will reserve my comment. Thank you very much. So we are hearing them. Audience, are you hearing them clear? You are also part of the judges. I know you are also impartial judges. So at the end of the day, you will also be speaking. Let us now hear from the second speaker for the motion. The second speaker for the motion.
Mr. Chairman, honorable pastors, accurate timekeeper, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly stand for the motion female president is more desirable in nation building. A female president is someone who is appointed by law to lead a group of people to ascertain a goal. Nation building means unifying people within a state. Mr. Chairman, women naturally feel compassionate for their fellow subjects. Mr. Chairman, permit me to refresh our memories. Her Excellency Ellen Johnson, Chef of Liberia, Angela Merkel of Germany, and Isabella Perón of Argentina are female presidents who are doing very well in the administration in their various countries. Mr. Chairman, women are very good in accountability and transparency. Mr. Chairman, in Ghana and Africa for that matter, the male presidents have poor administration. Mr. Chairman, you can agree with me that all countries that have male presidents, corruption has been the order of the day. Mr. Chairman, when males are presidents, there is high cost of living. Workers have to go on strike before government attains to their needs. Mr. Chairman, male presidents don't feel for their citizens. They make their citizens feel bad. The recent coup d'etat in Gambia, Mali, and Burkina Faso is as a result of economic hardship, corruption, and poor security network. Mr. Chairman, Dr. James K. Agris once said, and I quote, "If you educate a man, you educate one person. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation as a whole," unquote. Mr. Chairman, it is clear that female presidents are more desirable in nation building.
Thank you very much. Clap well, please. Okay, let's hear from the second speaker against the motion.
As I said earlier on, my name is Promise Tete, and I'm against the motion. Female president is more desirable in nation building. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, honorable timekeeper, invited guests, co-debaters, members, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. As the deputy speaker, I'm here to present you some few points that make us standing against the point.
You want to take your attention from the evangelism.
Mr. Chairman, let's go to the biblical aspect of this. According to creation, God created man first, and through man cometh a woman. So that means automatically men are the head of everything. That means when men stand, they are able to govern everything correctly, unlike a woman.
We cannot forget about this one now. This is something, it is the need of the hour. It is not something that we can forget about. It is something
in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 35 says, and if they will learn anything, they should ask their husband of whom, for it is a storm for a woman to speak in church. Meaning that God knows that females are not competent enough to take the mantle of leadership. God created women to support their husbands to attain the mantle of leadership, not the ladies trying to take the mantle of leadership. That means women are supposed to be in a position of supporting the leaders, which are the men, not them themselves going to be the leader to govern a nation, which I per se is not right according to God. Mr. Chairman, the ratio of man and female, leadership is 1
and hear messages about healing. They want to come to church and hear messages about how they can prosper, how things can go on well for them. They want to
We all know that men are courageous and therefore have the power to command more than a female leader. Therefore, when a man is engaged in nation building, more respect and attention will be given to him than the female leader. Mr. Chairman, permit me to go to Parliament as a now. If last week, Honorable Ajasta was prosecuted because he hasn't been in Parliament, all because she has to take care of the kids. So if she has to be the president of our nation, she will leave her work and go and be following her private matter, leaving the nation to collapse. Thank you.
Clap, clap, clap. I think they will talk. Yeah. So just we'll use
So we thank our debaters for doing a good work. We are now having the last session, so we'll go to our sister we want it to be brief, because the thing is, you should be able to summarize the points, give specific examples. Because if you are just talking about one point and you are not elaborative on the points, we will not be able to give you the mark as you deserve. So be specific, give us specific examples, then you can get the mark. So each of the candidates, we are awarding marks. So we'll sum all the marks and then tell you whether the male or the female are performing. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With all the points listed above, I hope a female president is more important than a male president. For example, Honorable Toyo Kujo-Kansa, she was compassionate. She take care of children. Sometimes she share food. Sometimes things like food and books, everything. Sometimes she even go to schools and give them gifts. So
as a church, we have relaxed for too long. We are at ease in Zion. We are at ease in Zion. We have rested on our prayer for too long.
The final speaker in debates normally gather up all the points made by the earlier people so that the judges' attention could be caught. And so the point they have made earlier that we're not able to get them, if you could recap, just state the points. That is the point we are making. Then that will help us. I think this is going to both sides. Yes, the summarizer. That's why you are calling yourself a summarizer. Is that not the term you are giving to yourself? It means that you are making everything complete but in short, so that we can make good judgments. Thank you very much.
He says, go. It is time for you to rise up and go with this message. It is a compelling message. It's a message you cannot set aside. The first point, the compelling necessity to evangelize.
Women are compassionate, accountability, and transparency, strong democracy, peace, building, and violence. That's why women are more important than a male president.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me get the last point where you say women are accountable, they are nation builders, and their violence. I want to be sure that you are repeating those words. You are standing by those words. Are you still by those words?
There was a time Jesus said to
Hello.
this man,
Are you still by those words that women are
No.
accountable, peaceful, and violent? Let's get that point before we proceed.
So as I said, women are compassionate, accountability, and transparency, strong democracy, and peace builders.
Thank you very much. So you've withdrawn the other word, their violence. You've withdrawn that word.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
the shortness of time,
Please, you talk about accountability, compassionate, and what? What? Transparency. What is strong democracy builders? What is the meaning of that?
Psalm 90 verse 4.
Okay, but transparent and accountability. Okay, well,
Moses, the man of God,
transparent.
that is, if you look at the head,
Let's hear from the last speaker from the other side. The last speaker against the motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, honorable timekeeper, workers, debaters, co-debaters, I greet you all. Mr. Chairman, I still stand against the motion that female president is more desirable in nation building because I know my opponents will mention names like Rebecca Na, Dede, Ayete, Susana, Ahassan, Mabel Dove Dankwa, who took part in nation building. But none of their words can be compared to the words of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Andrew Jackson, and James Dankuna, and late President Makafuli. To add to the above mentioned point during the decision making, during decision making, when a male leader makes unpopular decision or choose out an employee, he's doing his job. But when a female leader does that, she may be perceived as callous, uncanny. For example, was labeled for aggressive debating with Donald Trump.
Just think about it. If you have 1 year, what would you do? If you have 10 days, what would you do?
But when a female leader does that,
You? Manager. Manager, let's know.
Hillary Clinton was the one debating with Donald Trump, aggressively debating for male and female becoming leaders. Okay, let me take it. I think you didn't get it, so I'm taking it again. During decision making, when a male leader makes a unpopular decision, he or choose out an employee, he's doing his job. But when a female leader does that, she may be perceived as callous, meaning hardy in dealing with issues, uncaring. Hillary Clinton, for example, was labeled nasty for aggressively debating with Donald Trump about male and female becoming leaders because ladies in their nature, they find it difficult in dealing with issues. So because of that, he was aggressively debating with Donald Trump. Difficult in dealing with issues. Yes, please. Yes, please. Ladies find it difficult in dealing with issues concerning the development of the country.
So is that the reason why you
Yes, please.
I have not been like that. But I'll give up.
Gender is rather against the female. We are hijacking their position. So if you can please draw on that point. Because if someone is debating and who would rather be tagging the person to be Carlos, it means that. So if you can throw more light on that point.
Now the Hillary Clinton is a female.
Hillary Clinton is a female. Who was?
And she's arguing with Donald Trump about this. And Donald Trump, because he's a male, he was defending himself. So the Carlos was referring to Hillary Clinton.
So if she was Carlos, would she be able to debate?
Meaning she's emotionally weakened. She's emotionally weakened or hardened.
If you are weak, can you debate?
I mean.
Well, I'm not making point for you. I don't claim it. It's not your point. We want to get the understanding.
Explain that one. Pastor want to understand that.
Okay, I'm explaining. So, you see, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, debating with Donald Trump. For instance, let me use my mother. Now, maybe you're in the house, and I'll maybe in the case of leadership, I will be telling my mother that my father should be the head. And my mother will tell me that no, she is rather supposed to be the head. So because of that,
okay, so Clinton was debating
for herself.
Was debating for herself. She was a lady.
And
she's a lady and she was debating
for herself to become the head of the family. But me, as like Donald Trump, I'm trying to defend my position.
So don't you see that there's something in the person? That's why I want to be there. Anyway, you have made we have got what you want to say. You have made your point. Please let him finish up. Let him finish up with what you want to say. If you have anything to say at all, please say it with English. Let's hear that. I will require their blood at your mouth.
The point mentioned above women are weak in decision making and they lack the skills for building a nation.
In Psalm 9 verse 17.
Mr. Chairman, most houses that women wanted to be the leaders, that house will not stand.
How many times have you trumpeted into the wall?
You just make most houses that women want to stand well, you have made a point. Because if you have been able to make illustration, examples, back that point, then we have okay, let me hear you.
First and foremost, when women are allowed to be president, democracy is stronger. That's the first point.
Democracy is stronger.
Yeah. In an ideal democracy.
What is democracy?
Democracy. Government.
Many of us, they will lack commitment.
Democracy itself in government is a civilized group. We have two types, and I think I forgot it.
Don't worry. Well, the democracy is the freedom for the people.
Okay.
The people
Freedom of
themselves.
a citizen.
Yes.
Okay.
The citizens have complete freedom to rule themselves. To be involved in decision making. So you are saying that if women are, let me use the mic so that audience can, sorry. Audience, sorry. I am overtaken by the situation, so I couldn't even use the mic in my hand. Can you please chalk yourself so that audience can see me very well? They are forcing themselves to stress. Yeah. Let them look at us very, very well. Thank you very much. You are trying to say that when women are involved in politics, democracy becomes stronger. Can you explain that point?
Yes, we have democracy and democracy.
Can you explain that point?
Yes.
What is it?
Now, democracy is the freedom of a citizen.
So if explain the fact that when women are involved, it's stronger. I want to hear. What did they do to make it stronger?
In an idea of democracy, the demographics of government representative match up with the population. Although women make up just over 50% of America population.
The audience are shaking their heads. They themselves can't really get it.
Yeah.
Well, but the point you are making is that when women are involved in politics, democracy becomes stronger. Well, we've got to that point.
Yeah.
That is okay. Yeah. Can you talk about another one?
Yes.
Let's hear the next one.
It makes women to have, it improves, when the opportunity is granted for women to become leaders or president, there is an improvement in women to make the best leaders, according to a study published by Development Dimensions International.
That what? That women, when women what?
That companies with the greatest numbers of women in leadership roles perform the best financially. And a recent survey found that
okay, so I have gotten that one. That means financial accountability.
Yeah.
So women are very high, and you quoted some researches that supported that. Well, I've gotten that. The next one.
It will help women land leadership roles. That's why
learn or learn.
Learn leadership role.
Okay, so when women are involved in
other women will learn leadership role from their co-mates.
Okay, all right. Do you have anything to say again? Thank you very much. I think we expect that speakers should be able to convince us on a female becoming a president and the ability, time of being, yes, the ability of the woman and what the woman will be able to do, evidences. So you were talking about some ladies who become president, Liberia, you mentioned other ones who became president. That point, but we want you to tell us more what women can do if they become president. And we are saying when women are in leadership, if they can be president, mean that the nation's account or money will be accountable for where? That's what you are saying. And we are also saying that women are compassionate, mean that if they become president, with that kind of compassionate nature, they will be able to care for the people. I'm not speaking for you, but I'm trying to understand you. Are you also saying that women are transparent, hence whatever dealings that they are involved in as presidents, everything will be transparent for citizens to be able to side with them to enhance nation development? Okay, thank you very much. Well, I also want to see if I can summarize your point, even though I struggled to get some of them. But we're talking about weakness. We were saying that women are weak, so when we give them a leadership position, they wouldn't be able to perform well. Did you say that? Okay, you also said that they don't have much skill. And then I also heard there was one strong fact, the biblical fact, that the Bible said made a man the head. And God knows the reason why he has done that. So when women become head, there will be problems. Did you talk about that? Okay, and then you were saying women are domineering. You didn't use the term, but you were trying to say that women. You didn't use the term, but your explanation, you were trying to say if women are in leadership, they try to ransack or take over, or they try to push people away. If I can get that very well.
What I was saying is, there's a term used to describe ladies as Queen Bean syndrome, meaning they try to compare themselves with other people.
So women are fond of comparing.
Yes.
So if they compare, what is wrong?
Now, when they compare
maybe to make a good judgment.
Now, when they compare themselves with other people,
yeah.
Maybe I'm a rich person,
yeah.
And I'm a female.
Okay.
So right now, when I'm here right now, I also want a position.
Okay.
And I give her the position. I'll be like, oh, if I'm giving her the position, and she will overthrow me. She will do more than I'm doing. So, or maybe she's looking more beautiful than me. So because of that, it will not encourage nation building.
Okay, so that is what I term as domineering or trying to take over with the kind of nature, take over from others. In a way, it can also be described as selfish nature. Is that what you are trying to? Well, okay, you have made your point. You have made your point. Let me hand over to my colleague judge so that he also asks questions when necessary.
Okay. Mine, basically, I could see that those on my left, they were able to mention some cogent points, being that when women are put at leadership position, they are accountable, they are transparent. The only point that I can remember from my right side is that of Sarah Adjoa Safo that they cited, that because she was a lady, she abandoned her post and then was complaining that she's taking care of the child. Apart from that cogent point, it seems all the points I'm getting are not all that concrete for me to make an informed judgment on. So if there will be any opportunity for you guys to do a better summarization, I will be happy before my final judgment. Thank you.
Please do that within 1 minute.
Okay, I think
Mr. Judge didn't understand.
he couldn't hear us very well. He made points like incompetent, meaning lack of skills in dealing with issues. You can see that when you give ladies the chance, because of hard labor or they go through a kind of pregnancy, menstruation, and that.
Are you trying to explain the issue of Adjoa Safo?
No. I'm incompetent. Like
you are explaining incompetence.
so, because of that, you can see that they will not be regular at meetings, which will bring nation building down.
Because of their natural phenomenon
yes.
of giving birth.
Yes.
Is that what you think makes them incompetent? Or there is another thing that makes them incompetent?
You can't take evangelism out of the Bible.
Please, are you getting the question?
Yeah.
Can you
audience want to ask questions?
Send them right.
I want to. You can ask questions. Any of their
Please,
side.
make yourself notes here, head. Want to hear what you are trying to hear?
Okay, for me, with the ladies' aspect, I totally disagree with the brothers because naturally, I'm not yet a mother, but through certain experiences, I see women to be like they have that kind of capacity to take care of a large group of people. For example, you see a mother of let's say 10 children, 8 children. You'll be surprised, even with the little resource that woman is having, she can cater for those 8 or 10 children. Accurate. And even those who would, by the grace of God, become big out of that will become. And even let's look at Esther in the Bible. She stood for the Jewish people. And she fought. She alone. She fought. So I totally disagree with our brother saying women cannot do better.
Okay, let's give opportunity to a brother to also speak. A brother, if your brother can speak, you have a brother there who want to also buttress the point for brothers. But our sister is speaking against the fact that women are weak, women are incompetent, and she was citing some instances. So if you can hear from. Okay, all right, thank you very much. This means that
We are going to sum up them. I want to go.
Okay. So the youth boys are still, if you still have some opportunity to summarize your point, if you still you can.
Okay, I think I have one point. Now we also talk about goodness. Men in their nature, you can see that when they are giving the mantle of leadership, when they give a command, because of their nature, when they give a command, you can see that they give more respect than a lady. Imagine a lady standing in front of people giving command. Even the kind of voice they used to give their command, it's not compared. It cannot not be compared to that of the man. So you can imagine a male president becoming a male becoming the president. He can do the work as it has been instructed. Please, thank you.
This what shows that women are not good enough.
Now, as said in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 35, that they are to be under the man. So when they want to make a decision, they are supposed to consult the man first. So it means typically ladies are made to what? To support, not to take over the leadership from a man. Please, thank you.
Nation building and gender.
Gender, nation
Yeah.
building. They are talking of nation building.
Yes.
Nation building, when you talk of nation building, it is the ability of the man to.
Thank you very much. The debate is not yet starting. The debate is over. Don't worry, we'll give. No, the debate is over. We'll give you another good time again, and then you'll be able to make your debate.
My person. This is John.
Quickly
the
before
leader.
we
So we close.
let me mention my side.